Hey YouTube, my name is Axel.
My name is Danielle.
And we welcome you to our brand new channel, North Florida Homestead. Welcome to our homestead. You might ask, well, that's not a homestead, where's the garden? Well, it's right here. See? At least that's where it's gonna be. And chicken coop is it's right there, or that's where it's gonna be. And there's gonna be some rabbit hutches right here. And I'm trying to convince my better half to get us some pigs too, which will be on the other side of the shed. So, like the name of the channel implies, we live in North Florida. We are on a half an acre out in the county. So that's fortunate for us because we're allowed to have things like chickens and pigs and rabbits to raise. And of course we can grow our own vegetables if we have the room, and we do. Our backyard is a little bit over 1/4 of an acre. So we are hard at work. We have finally made the decision to not just try homesteading, but actually do homesteading and make that solid commitment, because it is truly a commitment. It's not just a hobby. I mean, it can be a hobby, but we want it to be an actual commitment so that eventually we can perhaps get a bigger piece of property a little bit further out in the county, in the country, and do a profitable homestead, something we can actually make money on, that'll pay for itself and maybe then some. So that's kind of our goal, and this is pretty much video number 1 on our journey. You can see it's really hot out here.
Lots of flies.
It's lots of flies and gnats and mosquitoes. But let me just show you around a little bit. So this utility shed was here when we bought the property. You can see that's the back of our house. Our little above ground pool, which comes in really handy when it's really hot and you've been working out in the yard. You can just jump in there to cool off afterwards. But the previous owners had this utility shed dropped off and put in, and then they built this little lean-to right here as an addition to it. And the only thing I was using it for was to store, you can see my lawnmower right there, my weed eater, post hole diggers, shovels, stuff like that. And I thought, it'd be very easy to turn this into a chicken coop and then attach a little outdoor run 8 foot by 8 foot right out here. So let me show you inside. So you can kind of see, hopefully the camera will pick it up. Yep. I built them a roof. And we don't have the chickens yet. We're going to order them this coming weekend, and they'll be delivered
For my birthday.
For your birthday, September 29th. So it'll be her birthday present. We're going to order 6 Rhode Island Reds. So they'll come to us as like day-old chicks. So they'll stay in the house with us for about 3 weeks or so, 2 to 3 weeks, and then they can come out here. But I basically just took an 8 foot deep section. The lean-to is about 8 feet wide, so it's an 8 foot by 8 foot area, 64 square feet. You can see here, I'm just repurposing stuff that I have laying around. You can see 2x6s that were left over from another project. And then the roosting bars here. I want to grab that. The roosting bars are literally some kind of a tree that grows in our yard that the previous owners had planted. We don't like them. We were going to cut them down anyway, but they are just over 1 inch in diameter, and it's a natural product, free. So we said, why don't we repurpose the limbs from that tree and just use them as the roosters here. So again, repurposed 2x6s. My brother-in-law recently took down his porch, his wooden porch, his deck. And so he let me take a bunch of his scrap wood that he was just going to take to the dump. A lot of it was rotten and split. You can see this one here, for example. This, it's just not really good. But I just cut off pieces that were still in good shape, like this one right here. This is going to be the back of the chicken coop. I'll put I'll put some chicken wire up here. I'll put some more frame pieces, some more 2x4s or something that I have laying around. And then we're going to cut a door. Okay, so I've already started the cuts right here with my Sawzall, but the battery died, so I had to charge it overnight. But I'm going to put their access door right here, and then build, probably some kind of flap that I can close it at night to get the predators out. And then inside here, they'll have just, lots of bedding and stuff in here. And then within this wall right here, which will all be chicken wire with like 2 2x4s coming up, and I'll attach the the nesting box is like right in this area, so I can come in from this side of the shed, gather the eggs up, and take them back into the house. And this is just repurposing stuff that was already here. We're not paying for this. Granted, the way the people built this one, they never put tin on top of the roof. It just had this felt paper, which means that over time, the plywood roof the decking here is completely rotted. So in a week or two, I'm going to replace 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets of plywood, put new felt paper on top, put new tin on top. That way it'll be completely dried in. I'll put a gutter here at the end and potentially catch the water in a rain barrel right here. And then out here, starting from this corner, going out 8 feet and going back that way 8 feet and then back to the door will be their outdoor run. 64 square feet is going to be plenty for just six laying hens. And then throughout the day, we'll even open the door and let them roam, the whole backyard if they want to. Once they get a little big enough and they feel that this is their home, they know where their food is, and they don't try to escape or anything like that. Then right over here, and this is all down the road a ways, but right over here is where I will build the rabbit hutches. They'll have a little roof to keep them dried in. Underneath, I might build like a cabinet door type deal. Everything will be sealed with like Thompson's water seal, so it doesn't rot out, and I can keep their feed down there, keep a little lock on it so that the raccoons and stuff can't get into it. So that'll be there. And again, it's just utilizing stuff that's already here, whether it's existing shed, existing lean-to, using the old trees that we're going to cut down anyway, old lumber, leftover lumber from other projects. We're going to reach out to our friends that might be tearing down an old shed so I can get some tin roofing from them. Just any kind of old plywood that's still in decent shape. Anything we can get for free or on really cheap is going to be the way to go. You can still make things look really nice, especially if you paint it, if you want to do that kind of thing. It doesn't have to look junky at all. Let's look at this pile right here, for example. I mean, this is just some more of that lumber that I got from my brother-in-law. You see some of it is rotten, so this whole section here wouldn't be useful at all. Just cut that off, but I can still use that all the way before it starts to split there. There's some 5/4 decking. Most of the deck boards were in really rough shape, but this one was pretty solid. All I have to do is back the nails out. I'm even to the point now where I'm reusing nails that I'm pulling out. If they're still in decent shape, I just straighten them back up with a hammer and then drive them in and use them again. Recycling 101 right there, guys.
The barrel.
The barrel, I'm actually undecided on this right now. Because I really wanted a plastic barrel for potatoes. What you do is you basically drill a whole bunch of drainage holes in the bottom, like 1/2-inch drainage holes, and about 6 inches up the side. And then you put about 6 to 8 inches of dirt, topsoil mixed with compost in there. You put your 4, 5, or 6 seed potatoes in. You cover them with 6 more inches of dirt, and then as the green plant emerges from the soil, you just keep adding dirt to where only a few inches of plant emerges until you get to the very top, and you end up getting tubers sprouting, all over the barrel. So when it's time to harvest, you just tip it over onto like a tarp or something, and then there you have potatoes. I did some more research. It's not advisable to use these metal ones. Obviously, you can see it's rusty, and I'm not really sure if I want rust touching the soil that is giving my potatoes nutrients, right? So I might repurpose this for something else later down the road, and I'll keep a lookout for a plastic barrel instead. Here you can see the tree I was talking about. I have no idea what kind of tree this is.
So if anybody knows.
Yeah, if anybody knows, leave a comment down below. You can see what the bark looks like here. They do have, well, yep, they have some kind of berry on them as well. I have no idea what they are. But
And they have a pink flower.
Yeah, pink
in
flower.
The spring.
The flower is kind of pretty, but they don't last very long, only a few days. But we don't really like them. They're not very pretty.
They don't serve a purpose.
They don't serve a purpose at all. So we're going to end up cutting them, pulling the stumps out, and I'm going to try to repurpose them. I can use some more of those as perches in the run, in the outdoor run. I can use them as, you know, like a 2x4 basically, running from one corner to the other, and I can hang the chicken's feeder off of it. I mean, it won't last forever, but it'll last long enough to get my use at it. So here we have a dead tree that I cut down last year. It was completely dead and half rotten. So I cut it into these firewood sized logs and stacked them up. And about another month or so, maybe 2 months down the road, when I start to build my raised beds for the garden bed, I'm actually going to fill the bottom of those beds with pieces of this rotting wood. It's going to make it so where I don't have to use as much soil, which is going to save me money in the long run because I have to actually go buy the soil. I'm making my own compost, but I'm going to need the actual topsoil to mix with it. But if I put these in the bottom of the garden bed, that's less soil that I need. Plus they'll continue to decompose. They hold a lot of moisture. These are really spongy, and it'll be great for moisture retention. And of course, as it breaks down, it will add more nutrients back into the soil. And back here in the corner, kind of a love it or hate it relationship with this banana tree, or these banana trees. If you've ever had banana trees on your property, they are prolific growers. I actually came in here and cut all these down to the ground level, and you can see they're already back in less than a year. Actually, it only took about 6 months for them to come back. They serve absolutely no purpose here because here in this part of the state, we don't get enough sunlight to grow actual bananas. They stay about the size of a jelly bean almost. They're kind of cute, but you can't eat them. But the only thing it really does right now is it gives us a little bit of a privacy corner right here. But
you can eat them, but they're not any good.
No. But yeah, I'm going to end up taking a shovel, and I've already started with this one, and just digging them up and pulling them up, and then I'll just shred them up and put them on the compost pile. But yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it right now. You can see that we're very early on in our homesteading dream. We're going to start pumping out videos. The more things that we do, the more things we build, the things we add to it. We're going to document all that for you. We're going to keep track of costs. We're going to keep track of how much time it took us to do certain things. And then, you know, once we get the chickens in, we'll take you guys along and show you how to make a brooder and how to get the chickens, you know, from being day-old baby chicks to being like 2 or 3 weeks old with feathers so they can be outside. And we'll talk about what time of year, especially for this area here, there's North Florida, South Georgia area. We'll talk about the planting zone that we're in, the USDA planting zones. We'll talk about what to plant at what time of year, what animals to get at what time of year.
Our battle with the bugs.
Our battle with the mosquitoes and the gnats. Hopefully the chickens will help with that. But yeah, hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell icon so that you're instantly notified when we drop our next video. Thanks for joining the family, guys. Take care.